Though the wording is given with a significance for the word purchase, but the meaning of this transaction can be understood only if you see that as a sale transaction, or only from the perspective of a seller, you can appreciate more about the transaction. There is purchaser, there is seller. Let's learn the transaction from the viewpoint of a seller. So let me make this introduction this way. Hire purchase transaction is a sale transaction in which the possession of the goods will be delivered to the customer immediately. The possession of the goods is transferred to the buyer immediately. The consideration for the goods will be collected in installments, and the ownership will be transferred on the payment of last installment. This is the meaning of hire purchase transaction. So first of all, it is a sale. What is the uniqueness of that sale? What is the special feature of that sale? Special feature is I will give you the possession. You use it. Right from day one you will use it. The consideration, it is not in one settlement immediately or later, one settlement. It is going to be collected in installments over a period, monthly, quarterly, half yearly, weekly. Like that, the consideration is going to be collected in installment. Let us learn that. Hire purchase is a sale transaction in which the possession, it is a sale. Upon seller viewpoint, correct? Upon seller viewpoint, the possession of the goods will be given to the buyer immediately. The moment that contract is entered into, immediately the possession will be given. Consideration to the transaction will be collected in installments. Understood? And the ownership of the asset will be passed to the buyer. First sale, it is one person selling the asset to another person, correct? Ownership is also transferred. Ownership is also transferred. First of all, it is a sale transaction. Ownership also should be transferred. Then only it is a... When it is transferred, different. Sale transaction. Ownership should be. Then you don't call it as sale transaction. Understood? Monday le kotiduven. Hire purchase is a sale transaction. Ownership should be transferred. Otherwise, it is not a sale transaction. Understood? But ownership, when it is transferred, that is a different question. In hire purchase, it is a sale transaction. Possession should be transferred. Ownership also should be transferred. But it is happening at different point of time. Everybody? Listen. Don't fix your mind. Yes, sir, ownership not transfer. Possession will transfer. Possession will transfer. Once you learn, be flexible. Keep the mind flowing to the class. Don't be going to rigid mode. Shall we? 15 minutes more, my dear. Now listen carefully. Hire purchase is here, in which the possession of the goods is delivered to the customer immediately. Consideration is collected in. Ownership is transferred to the buyer on the payment of last installment. This much only what you should understand as hire purchase transaction. Everybody? Now, for the purpose of accounting, this transaction, this hire purchase transaction, we already understood the meaning of transaction. As we hear, maybe many times I am repeating, at least one time it should be there in your notebook. Title also not there, hire purchase transaction. You are already into a new topic. He's into sleep mode. Hire purchase, new topic, new major chapter, but take new page. See, he is writing here, hire purchase. Hold the man. Now take. So we understand that hire purchase transaction is a sale transaction in which possession is given immediately. Ownership will be transferred. Will be transferred on the payment of last installment. Don't tell ownership will never be transferred. Ownership will be transferred on the payment of considerations collected in installment. These are the special features of Hire purchase transaction, meaning at least should be there in your notebook. Understood? Something repeated 5 times, 6 times, 7 times also make you bore for you to write one time. Understood? So it has to be written. So now listen. For the purpose of accounts, we classify the transaction into two. It is called trading transaction. Trading cum finance. Trading na non-trading kadayadu ba. Trading transaction. Another one is trading cum finance. Everybody? Okay. So what is a trading transaction? What is that trading cum finance? So because we usually put it this way, small value items are trading transaction. Higher value transactions are trading cum finance. Like that we had a separation. Everybody? In case of trading transaction, the seller book only profit. The seller book only profit. So in this transaction, what is only involved is profit. I told you the transaction to be seen for understanding purpose only from the viewpoint of, though we are going to learn accounting in the books of seller as well as buyer, or predominantly we learn from accounts from the viewpoint of buyer. Understood? Anyway, so we have from the viewpoint of seller, there is only profit. Here what means, for trade he gets profit and for finance he gets interest. There are two income he is getting. Understood? So trading transaction means what is involved? Only profit is involved, and trading cum finance means profit and this trading transaction was the major area of hire purchase transaction. Around 100% hire purchase means 70% was trading transaction, in accounting wise at least, which was determined in two methods. Based on two methods, we called it as debtor system and stock and debtor system. Everybody? Which is no longer existing. So we understand this is the area, because you should know, when I say eliminated means you should know what was there and what got actually eliminated. Could you appreciate that? So thereby a seller booking only profit from hire purchase transaction is no longer applicable. Please respond. A seller booking only profit. Actually what happens is that, imagine there is a seller who makes on cash sales. His original cost is 100 rupees. How much? 100 rupees. Now I am going to sell you for cash at 150. So cash means what? Immediately he has to give me cash. Everybody? Yes, cash sales. I am going to make cash sales at rupees how much? 150. Everybody? Kaila kasu, avanga kaila goods. The other person's hands goods. Not those and all. Okay, now listen. So cash sales. Cash sales means immediate cash receipt. Correct, Appa? Yes, 150. Sir, I want 3 months time, he is saying. Then I am asking you to pay 180. He should pay how much? 180. That is fully profit only. It is credit sales. No interest. Now this 50 rupees also profit. Now 80 rupees itself is profit. Correct, Appa? Yes, so we, even though credit sale is made at a higher price, there is no distinction between profit and interest and all. 50 is also profit, 80 is also profit. Now he says that, sir, I can't pay full amount at one stage. I can pay only on piecemeal basis. So every month I will pay 200 rupees, sir. Every month he will pay 200. Then I am telling that you will pay every month 200. Every month you will pay, but you pay 12 months 200 rupees. 200 20 rupees. Every month he will pay 20 rupees. I am asking you to pay not 9 months. Sir, 180 ki I will buy. No, 180 lakh. 12 rupees, 20 rupees per month. 12 months you pay, which means you will pay 240 rupees. Are you following? Please respond. Yes, sir. So to this gentleman I am selling for what? 150. To him I am selling for 180. Are you following? To him I am selling for 240 rupees. Are you following? In that case, it is also a type of trade only, a trade technique only, correct? And originally, all these things were booked as profit. The difference between 100 and 150 is profit. The difference between 100 and 180 is also profit. The difference between 100 and 240 is also profit. So thereby we had a area called trading. Understood? Higher purchase involving only trading. Now that method is dispensed with. Now the accounting regulation says that you should not book only profit, you should book interest and profit. And that is the area we are going to discuss. Trading cum finance. Could you appreciate that? Please respond. And tell you what is the nature of this transaction, I will tell you. Because then only we can appreciate the real accounting. The ownership is transferred to the buyer only on the payment of. But the buyer will recognize asset at year 0 itself. At the inception of the contract itself, the entire value of the asset. Not even though he is paying only 20 rupees out of 240 rupees. How much? But entire 240 you will be showing as asset. Why does he show like that? That sort of discussion is what we are going to make now. Shall we? Please respond. Now what happens is that this form of concept arised, trading cum arised by the development of, evolution of modern banking system. Now listen. There was a failure from the traditional bankers. What happens? Imagine I went to the bank. I want to buy one machinery. I am a businessman. I want to buy machinery. Understood? Or imagine, let us take some other friends for buying machinery. Let Prasanna. Let's take Prasanna is a businessman. Everybody? Prasanna wants to buy one machinery. Listen. He wants to buy one machinery from a vendor. Everybody. The machinery is costing 10 lakhs. How much, dear? 10 lakhs. He wants to buy a. He is not having money. So what he will do? He will approach a bank. So he is going to a bank. Chandan is operating a bank. So very good bank. So he is approaching the bank. Correct? Now when he is approaching the bank for a loan, immediately loan will be granted. No. He will require what? Security. Understood? So Prasanna is giving his house, personal house, that small house that you built, no? That house is giving us only house part. Yeah. He is offered a security to Chandan. Understood? Chandan was very happy with this house. Security is accepted. The house is actually in the name of, but the title deeds are with Chandan. Understood? Okay. What you are thinking? Wow. Now please sit down. Please stop talking. Don't disturb. Now he has granted the loan. Please respond. Yes, sir. He is buying the machinery. Yes, now what are the accounting in the books of Prasanna? He is taking a loan, cash to loan 10 lakhs. Entry. Right? Using the cash, he is going to the machinery vendor. He is going to the machinery vendor and buying the machinery. Are you following? So it will be machinery to cash. Understood? He got the machinery. In the asset side he will have machinery 10 lakhs. In the liability side he will have loan 10 lakhs. Now he has to repay the loan. 10 lakhs, maybe additional interest will come for 2 lakhs, respond, and he will repay that particular interest, loan with interest, 12 lakhs he will repay, correct? But asset is shown at 10 lakhs. The real value of the asset is only, but liability repaid how much? Repayable amount is 12 lakhs. Imagine what happened, Prasanna is not repaying the amount. repaying the amount. He is not going to the bank properly, he is not repaying the money properly. Then what bank can do? That small house can be taken, no? So what bank will do is, bank will auction that house. Understand? You will buy, yeah. Okay. So Prasanna is very eager to buy your house, small house. He is the villain, okay? Fine. Okay, he won't give back. Now listen. Personal loan. Please stop talking. The basic problem with these type of transactions is that even though the bank can sell such house, but it is actually in the name of Prasanna, it is not so easy for the bank to sell. So Prasanna go to the court, gets an injunction, a stay order. Are you following this? Please stop talking. A stay order he will get. Everybody. Then Chandan can't sell this so easily. Chandan also has to approach the court. Now our judiciary system is not waiting for you. Come. We will solve the case immediately. This case will be finally getting resolved in 5 or 7 years time. By the time, bank would have been closed. Because like this 3-4% taking 10 lakhs not paying money, na? Finished. Arel following. Ellam poch. Now listen. Please listen. Please stop talking. Don't disturb. Dear friends, please don't disturb. Hear properly and attend. Otherwise, no, I will throw you out. Please be careful. See, unnecessarily you are disturbing and wasting time. When an example is given, take it in the lighter way. Hear it. Maybe towards the break you discuss something, laugh it. But every time simultaneously parallelly disturbing. Now it is really irritating. So please don't do that. Once in a while, okay. Every word you are just keep on discussing internally, really irritating. Now please listen. So what happens is that the entire flow is affected. You are not even ultimately losing the subject. So it's to take that subject in a lighter way only the such things are brought, and you lose a subject and you are focused on something else. So if you are going to parallelly disturb, understanding. So ultimate objective is lost. Now what happens is that like this there will be a big failure on the part of the traditional bankers. Everybody. The basic problem was what? Why bank cannot sell immediately? Because the property is not in the name of the bank. Missionary was in the name of the businessman. The property is also there in the name of businessman. Correct? So the modern day bank is what they thought is that, suppose Prasanna wants to buy the missionary. So bank what says? You want to buy a missionary? Okay. We will buy the missionary. The bank is buying the missionary. Respond. And bank is giving the missionary to you. Now you use the missionary. You want to use the missionary for 10 years. We don't want. You want to use the missionary. Correct? You want to buy a missionary from vendor. Correct? We are buying it and we are giving it to you. Use the missionary for 10 years. You keep repaying the loan. You keep repaying the loan. On the payment of the last installment of the loan. On the payment of the last installment of the loan. We will give you the ownership. Possession is given, but ownership will be given only at the last date. Could I appreciate that? Now, if you do any default in payment of the loan, the missionary is in my name. I can repossess at any point of time. Are you following this? Like this, the vendor taking the role of a banker, or banker taking the role of a vendor. So, a person performing dual role is what finally resulting into these type of transaction. Are you following? A person is the vendor as well as he is the banker. So when I say this new types of bankers, I am not conveying about some State Bank or Punjab National Bank and all. I am telling about Sundaram Finance, Tata Finance. These manufacturers floats their own financial institution. Are you following? And those institutions will take the dual role of seller of an asset or giving leased asset. giving the asset on lease or selling the asset on hire purchase base. Understood? We have non-banking financial companies. Enapa? NBFC. Are you following this? So such organization, what they will do, they will buy and sell the asset. It is actually their intention is not to sell the asset. They want to finance, correct? But we want to ensure that both the income belongs to us. It is not going to some other bank. Actually, the cost of the asset is only 7 lakhs to us. As a vendor, the cost of the asset is only, I sell, I will get 3 lakhs extra. Everybody. And 2 lakhs will go to bank. This gentleman take a loan from bank for 10 lakhs. Give it to me 10 lakhs. Respond. And he will repay to bank how much? 12 lakhs. So he is giving me an income of 3 lakhs and giving an income of 2 lakhs to, I want that income also. Are you following this? So what I am going to do is that, see, I am giving the machinery to you. Now you pay 1 lakh rupees each month. In 12 months you repay? Or maybe in 24 months or 36 months you repay that 12 lakhs. Understood? I am ready to get 12 lakhs. So that I am getting both the type of income. What income? Profit income. So I am taking the role of a seller as well as a financier. Are you following? That is how we have this type of transaction. That is trading cum finance. Which means I am doing trade as well as finance. I am selling the asset to you. At the same time I am also giving finance to you for buying the asset. Are you following? So you give me the 3 lakhs profit as well as the 2 lakhs whatever you are supposed to give it to the bank. That also you give it to me. Understood? That way only this type of transaction exists. Shall we proceed? Please respond. Now imagine. So let us now move forward into the transaction. Last 5 minutes. Cost of the asset 7 lakhs. Cost of the asset 7 lakhs. Now we find that we want profit of 3 lakhs. So it is 10 lakhs. Respond. Which means if you buy the asset immediately from me with paying cash, I will sell at 10 lakhs. I am also involved in such sales also. So if you want to buy these goods from me immediately, I will give you at 10 lakhs. Everybody. Now, this 10 lakhs is called cash price. Now we are introducing some terminology of hire purchase here. Cost price is the price at which the hire vendor purchased or manufactured the goods. Cost price is the price at which the hire vendor purchased or manufactured the goods. Either he is a manufacturer or he is a trader, correct? He is also doing finance. Understood? Now he will book a profit of, he usually sell for 10 lakhs, correct? You want it on a deferred payment, correct? I mean I will charge what? Interest. 2 lakhs. I want you to give me 12 lakhs rupees. How much? 12 lakhs. So you are supposed to give me 12 lakhs rupees. Shall we proceed? Yes, sir. Everybody? Okay. So this 12 lakhs is called hire purchase price. The total amount that will be collectible from the buyer is called what? The total amount of recovery from the transaction. Which transaction? Hire purchase transaction is called what price? Hire purchase price. Understood? Many of the times the general practice is that a part will be collected immediately. A part of this payment will be collected immediately. We call this as down payment or cash down. Cash down or down payment. Everybody? So we collect cash down or down payment. Say it is 2 lakhs rupees. We are collecting down payment. How much? 2 lakhs. So balance collectible how much? Or let me collect 3 lakhs. I am sorry. Balance is how much? 9 lakhs. Everybody? So balance is how much? 9 lakhs. This 9 lakhs, I imagine I will collect in 3 installments. Equally, how much? 3 lakhs. 3 annual installment. Though I said in practice monthly and all will come. For problem solving, it is always annual installment or sometimes half yearly installment. Right? So that way, we have just given some inputs here. Cost price how much? Outright purchase price? 10 lakhs. If you want to buy, if a buyer wants to buy, by paying full amount immediately, 10 lakhs. No, I can't buy immediately. I have to buy on a deferred basis. Then you have to pay totally out of 12 lakhs immediately. Then another 3 lakhs for 3 years. Understood? Each year you should be paying 3 lakhs. The amount. Understood? This 9 lakhs is called the installment value. What is 9 lakhs is called? What is 3 lakhs is called? Per installment value. 9 lakhs is the total installment value of the sale. Total amount I am going to collect by way of installment is 9 lakhs. In one installment I am going to collect 3 lakhs. Could you appreciate the difference? So out of the total consideration, 3 lakhs I will collect down payment. Everybody? Yes, and balance, what is the balance? 9 lakhs I will collect by way of installments. In how many installments? 3 installments of rupees 3 lakhs each. These are terms of the transaction. Shall we proceed? Yes, everybody? So I have introduced so far cost price. What do you mean by cost price? Price at which the purchaser buy or manufacture the goods. Correct, Appa? Yes, sir. Now what is 10 lakhs? The price at which the vendor sell the goods. Correct? For outright sale. Now what is 12 lakhs? Higher purchase price. Now what is cash price? Cash price plus, cost price plus profit. Respond. What is HP price? Cash price plus interest is called HP price. Everybody, what is installment value? How do you express that? Higher purchase price minus down payment is installment value. Is that clear? So these are all the different terms here. Shall we proceed? Okay. Now the transaction starts like this. We are entering into a contract. I am giving an asset. You are giving me how much cash? Now, forget vendor. We are going to learn from the viewpoint of purchaser. Now, the buyer will recognize this as asset in his books. The buyer will recognize this as an, even though he is not the, even for 1 rupee also, he is not the owner. Understood? Who is the owner of the asset? The seller, bank. Understood? The seller is the owner of the asset. Could you appreciate that? Though buyer is not the, but by considering the substance over, what was the substance here? Suppose this transaction is not happening like this. What is actually happening? The businessman will take a loan from and he will give that money to vendor or seller of the machinery. And he is buying the machinery, correct? In that case, what is the real accounting in the books of buyer? First he is taking a loan. What was entry I told? Cash to loan. And he is giving that cash to us and he is buying the machinery. Machinery to cash. So ultimately machinery will come from right from day one. Even though loan is not repaid, machinery will be recorded in his books, correct? If you see the transaction separately, definitely machinery will be shown from in the books of buyer right from first day onwards. Now what happened? All these transactions was combined, correct? Because seller only giving you finance. So actually seller should feel that here we are giving a finance for finance to buyer for we are giving a loan of 10 lakhs, correct? And we are going to collect the loan with interest. Are you following? So first day itself, the buyer will be showing this as an asset in his books. Everybody. He is paying how much? He will pay 9 lakhs later. Later, correct? Now, what is the value of asset that will be shown in the books of buyer? Asset will be shown in the books of the buyer. We are discussing a chapter, hire purchase transaction. Though the wording is hire purchase, I am seeing that as a sale transaction. It is a sale transaction in which the possession of the goods. In a sale, we will give two things, the possession and ownership. The possession will be delivered to the customers immediately. The consideration for the sale, it is a sale, no. So consideration for the sale will be collected in installments. Ownership will be given to the buyer on the payment of last installments. Okay. Then I told you there were two types of transaction, all this blah blah. Okay. Now let us take the core part. We understand. In this transaction, we have a price called cost price. We have a price called cash price. We have a price called hire purchase price. Cost price is the price at which the hire vendor buy the goods or manufacture the goods. Cash price is the price at which hire vendor usually sell the goods on outright basis. Hire purchase price is the price at which he will make hire purchase sales. The total amount recoverable from HP sales is HP price. Down payment is the amount that will be collected at the inception of the contract. At the inception of the contract is what we call it as down payment. The balance amount will be collected by way of installments. So the difference between dash and dash. Hire purchase price minus down payment is the installment value. Everybody? In this transaction, even though the hire purchaser is not the owner of the asset in the initial period, he becomes the owner only if the last installment is paid. But at year 0, we recognize that as an asset in his books. For accounting wise, we consider the hire purchaser as the owner. Legally, the vendor is the owner. For all legal purpose, the seller is the continue to be the owner. But for accounting purpose, we treat the hire purchaser as the owner right from day 1 and not at the end of 36 months, not at the end of 3 years. So legally he is becoming owner only at the end of 3 years, but by considering substance over form. If I actually separate the transactions of this trading cum finance, I find he is actually taking a loan and buying the asset, and he only have the intention to use the asset. Understood? So by looking into the substance and not the legal form, the legal rules, so by looking into the circumstances and facts of the case, I find the buyer is actual owner of that asset. Understood? It is nothing but he has bought the asset by taking a loan. Shall we proceed? Yes, sir. Okay. So thereby right from year 0 the asset will be shown. Suppose he has taken loan and bought the asset. Respond. From a normal vendor, he can buy the asset for how much? Okay. Later on he will repay loan with, so that extra 2 lakhs will be added to the asset? Never. The interest which will be paid as repayment of loan with interest will be charged to P&L. I take a loan for 10 lakhs. I bought the asset. I took a loan for 10 lakhs. We bought the asset. Everybody. Now this asset what I have bought by taking a loan will be shown in the balance sheet. Subsequently, when I repay the loan, I pay additional loan with interest. Correct? That is additional loan amount which is nothing but interest. That interest will be charged to, it is a finance expense. It is a finance, but sometimes that finance cost will be added to the asset cost But further there is an accounting standard we will be learning in group 2, which we call it as AS16, borrowing cost. What is the standard? But generally the cost will not be, the finance cost, the interest will not be added to the cost of the asset, and thereby asset in our example has to be shown at 10 lakhs. The asset has to be shown at, which means forget about this. In fact, I have already told this. You forgot. Accounting standard number 10. When asset is purchased on higher purchase basis, there I didn't say about 3 price and all, but I told one word, that the asset should be recognized at cash price. Are you following in AS10? I conveyed that point. So that is what we are going to take here. Asset should be shown at 10 lakhs. Okay, now how accounting will be made? At year 0, end of year 0. So end year 0 itself is not a year. End of that year means it is beginning of year 1. Are you following up? When you buy the asset, accounting entry in the books of hire purchaser will be asset account debit. Respond, ba? At how much? 10 lakhs. You learn amount, that's okay. But more than the amount, what I want you to learn the concept. What price? Cash price. Asset will be debited at cash price. Please respond. Everybody. To bank. In our example, what does he pay immediately for buying this asset? 3 lakhs. Which is called the down payment or cash down. And he recognized liability for the balance. He recognized liability for the balance. It is to hire vendor. Though in entry we are learning this as to hire vendor. Actually what we will use is the name of the person who is selling it. Understood? So suppose it is some company XYZ Limited. We will use the term XYZ Limited. Could you appreciate that? And we will write the remaining amount. How much? Even though in future, we have to pay. How much? 12 lakhs. Even though in future we have to pay what, sir? 12 lakhs. We find that, 12 lakhs, 9 lakhs. In future we have to pay 9 lakhs. Because out of 12 lakhs you have paid how much? In future how much has to be paid? But as on today, the liability is only 7 lakhs. As on today, the liability is only, which is called principal. This is actually the loan amount, which is nothing but cash price minus cash down. What is that? Cash price minus cash down. Now, which means we are learning an accounting entry at the inception of the hire purchase contract. At the inception of the hire purchase contract, hire purchaser will recognize the asset. Hire purchaser will recognize the asset. What is the entry for that? Asset account debit at cash price. Asset account debit at 2 to the extent of down payment. Amount you forget, pa. Now the concept only. Understood? Debit asset at dash price. 2. Bank to the extent of. Balance is the liability. Balance is the liability. Correct? In future, but I will pay extra 2 lakhs, sir. Liability is 7 lakhs, but I will pay extra. That extra 2 lakhs is interest. That interest will come to me as a liability only when time passes. Interest is called time value of money. Only when time expires, that interest will be recognized. As on today itself I am getting suddenly some amount of cash means I will give how much? 7 lakhs only. I won't give 9 lakhs. Could you appreciate that? Additional 2 lakhs is charged on me because I am going to make on a deferred payment. Are you following? So as on today, my liability is how much? 7 lakhs. Are you following this? Please respond. Understanding? Pakka? Okay. Imagine the 7 lakhs, the breakup is that equal. Let me make it equal. This is only for learning entry. Don't question onto the computations involved here. This is what we are learning, accounting part. Computation part we will teach you separately, shall we? Respond pa. Why I am telling you this is this? Because we are going to presume now 7 lakhs is going to be repaid equally. What is equally? 2 lakh, 7 lakhs going to be paid equally. 2 lakh 33,333. 2 lakh 33,333. 2 lakh 33,334. Understood? Like that we are going to make the payment. Shall we proceed? Yes, everybody. So, and this 7 lakhs as well as interest how much? 2 lakhs. This interest also will be equally distributed. This is the place where the computation wise it is always a question mark, because interest will not be equally distributed. Everybody, interest actually keeps on increasing. Decreases. We already seen. We took a loan for 20,000. We took a loan for, first we paid interest with loan of 500. Then it became 19,500. Then we gave interest on 19,500. Then it is reduced to 19,000. Then interest on 19,000. Like that you have discussed problem? Yes, sir. AVL, one problem in single entry system. Are you following? So thereby interest will keep on reducing as and when you repay the loan amount. As and when you repay the loan amount, interest will. But here, for the purpose of learning accounting entries, I am going to assume that interest is also same. Shall we proceed? So interest totally by 3, 66,667. 66,667. 66,666. Understood? Anyway, now listen carefully. Now what happens at the end of first year is that, please respond. We will make a due entry for interest. We'll make a, which is a percentage of 7 lakhs. They will give you interest percentage. So that percentage will be applied on. In this case, for simplicity, I gave you the interest amount. First year interest, how much pa? 66,667. 2 lakhs by 3 pa. Are you all following? So don't confuse with computation and all. So here the major objective is learning accounting entries. Please respond. Yes, so at the end of first year, what do we do is, we have to pay an installment amount. Correct? How much we have to pay at the end of first year? At the end of first year, how much we should pay? Now, 3 lakhs. What do you promise to pay as installment? 3 lakhs. First you will pay 3 lakhs. Then another 3 years, each year you will pay 3 lakhs. Respond. Before you pay that amount, interest due entry should be made. What entry ba? Which is interest account debit to hire vendor. In entry ba? Interest account debit to entry will be, amount will be 66,667. 66,667. Please respond. Then what entry will make na? Hire vendor to bank. Whatever you are promised to pay as installment. How much? 3 lakhs. Everybody, at the end of first year, you are making this amount. How this amount I told you, it is 2 lakhs by 3, I am assuming, later. But in practice, we compute the percentage of the principal amount. What is the principal amount? It is computed as dash minus dash. Cash price minus cash down. As on today, the asset base total value 10 lakhs. I am paying 3 lakhs now. Balance is principal. Balance is loan amount. Right? At the end of first year, I have to pay interest on the 7 lakhs. Which is coming to 66,667. Respond ba? Yes, sir. Now, please follow with the numbers carefully, my dear students. The loan amount initially was, when you make interest due entry, loan amount will, when you make interest due entry, which means what? Interest receivable or payable pa? Interest payable. Upon loan will, you are actually showing that as an amount payable to hire vendor. The moment 1 year expired, now you are showing some more amount is payable to the higher apart from, which means total amount payable is 7,66,667. Now in that you pay as promised. You have promised 3 times you will pay. You will pay 3 lakhs, correct? So you have paid 3 lakhs. 7,66,667. In that you have paid 3 lakhs. Balance will be 4,66,667 is the loan amount. Next year the percentage of interest no. Percentage of interest no will be applied on 4,66,667 is the computation. But that computation we are not following here. I gave you the interest amount. Next year interest also same. Respond. I assume same interest for simplicity. Understood? Now entry will be year 2. Again same routine only. Interest to higher vendor. But this amount will be different. Even though in this example it is going to be same, this amount will be different. It will be computed on different amount. But entry wise same. Interest to higher vendor. 66,667. 66,667. Everybody, please respond. What was the loan at the year beginning of second year? 4,66,600. Correct? Yes, now interest is again getting added. Yes, so you add that interest. 4,66,667 plus interest. Please use calculator. Only when you follow the numbers. 5,33,334. 5,33,000. Now I will pay 3 lakhs as promised. This payment is as per the installment agreed in the contract. 3 lakhs. Please respond. Everybody. So 5,33,334. In that if I pay 3 lakhs, balance will be 2,33,334. Correct? Year 3 interest once again I will charge. Interest to higher vendor. 66,666 is what I told. Correct? Respond. So 2,33,334 plus 66,666 equal to 3 lakh, which I am paying. So automatically the liability becomes 0. Are you following this? Everybody? Now this is the accounting in the books of hire purchaser. Understood? Now let us consolidate onto this accounting. Now computation will be followed because this chapter will have lots of significance only for computation. Other chapters give lot of relevance for accounts. Here the problem is that any type of problem, same entry only. And that too only 3 entries, not even these many entries. What are the 3 entries? Asset purchase entry, interest due, installment pay, interest due, installment pay, interest due, installment pay. All that. Are you following? So every time it is the same accounting entry only we are making, and thereby they don't actually make you the repeating the accounting entries. We give you different computations. I will give this amount, missing amount is this amount, you calculate. So here the chapter will be predominantly occupied by mathematics. Understood? In fact, when you have data system and stock and data system, credit system, that time we had lots of accounting issues. That all such charm last. In this account something missing, shop stock account, HP data, HP stock, HP adjustment, HP P&L, like that. So many accounts were there. All things were lost. Now we have only 3 accounting entry. You buy the asset, interest due, installment pay. Interest due, installment pay. Understood? So thereby we have lots of computers that we were to discuss. Now let us first clear about accounts. Shall we? What is accounts? Buy the asset, entry. Asset account debit at dash price. To bank. Down payment. To higher vendor. Principal, which is nothing but difference between cash price and cash down. Difference between cash price and cash down. Correct? interest to higher vendor. It is the interest rate given in the question. Multiply on principal amount. What you have shown in the first entry. Understood? Interest due. Clear? Then it is higher vendor to bank. What amount? Installment amount. In that installment actually two things are there. Principal and interest. Installment consists of principal and interest. But we are not separating it because already interest separately due. Added to liability. Now liability to bank. Are you following? Thereafter routine monotonous entries will be made. Interest to higher vendor to bank. So henceforth we may not do several problems involving this journal entries. We are going to do lots of problems involving computation, examination of latest. After the elimination of data system and the problem is actually focusing on such computation. So this chapter earlier used to come for 16 marks. Now it is having a relevance of only 6 marks, 8 marks, 4 marks. Nothing more than that. Understood? So let us now involve into some computations. So some problems they will give HP price, ask you to find out cash price. Out of 60 minutes what was there after the break. Now we have only 30 minutes pending already. Actually 35 minutes is there. I will take only 30 minutes. Understood? Please listen. Please listen. We have only 30 minutes. 1 minute over, are you? 29 minutes. Now listen. Please listen. Please listen. They will give you the problem areas. They will give higher purchase price. They will ask you to find out cash price. They will give cash price. They will ask you to find out higher purchase price. They will give higher purchase price. They will give you cash price. They will ask you to find out interest for various years. Like that, you have different problems involving computing missing informations. Are you following this? Missing figures finding yeah. Listen. So please understand that how to find all such things. For that, sir, please stop talking. So you should be very clear with certain expression. Higher purchase price equal to higher purchase price equal to cash price minus interest plus interest or exactly, very good, that's a very good expression. Installment value plus down payment. Installment value plus down payment, because sometimes they will give information about this and down payment. You should be reaching higher purchase price. So you should be knowing both the expression. Higher purchase price equal to cash price plus interest or installment value plus down payment. And generally one installment usually will have two components and you should be knowing. What is that? Principal and interest. Everybody? Total principal amount is actually dash on which interest will be computed. What is it? Cash price minus cash down. The term principal or loan amount is actually cash price minus cash down. It is not HP price minus cash down. Everybody? Please respond. So HP price minus cash down. Total installment value. What is cash price minus down payment? Total principal. Cash price plus interest. It is higher purchase price. Higher purchase price minus interest. Higher purchase price minus cash price. Total interest, which will be apportioned to various years. Understood? So all these things, several categories of problems, several missing information will be given. So we have to go for computing such things. Understood?